semi-final. Newcastle humble Arsenal, win 4-0 on aggregate, 2-0 on the night. Nowhere near good enough, Arsenal. Want to hear from your fans. 03 717 22 3344. But huge night for Newcastle fans. They are on their way to Wembley, so get involved in the show. But Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been speaking to talkSPORT's Sam Matterface after they were dumped out of the Carabao Cup tonight. Let's have a listen.
Mikel, commiserations. Ødegaard hitting the post, them scoring less than 60 seconds later. How key was that passage of play?
That was a moment, I think, on the tie, without a doubt. But the reality is that in 2 games, they've been much more efficient than us in the boxes. Certainly at home, with the amount of chances we lost, and then we made it really difficult for the return leg. We really wanted to try. We had believed that if we scored the first goal, that we could start to get the game where we wanted. We had the moment, stay away from us, and then we conceded the goal both goals really in a way that we are not very used to see.
Yeah, with the backdrop of what's happened over the last sort of month or so, when everyone was expecting you to try and get a striker, was the difference in these 2 games the killer instinct in front of goal?
No, but I don't put that into an individual.
But was it the difference, do you think?
The boxes were the difference, yeah.
In terms of Gabriel Martinelli had to come off with what looked like a hamstring injury, how did you assess it? Have you heard any details of what the problem is?
No, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow, see how it is.
How tricky was it to come here mentally and approach the game knowing that you had to chase it? Does that make it... How much harder does that make it?
Well, obviously hard. You play the return leg away is already harder, and with the result that they were brought, obviously it makes it more difficult.
How difficult is a striker of the calibre of Alexander Isak to contain?
Yeah, I think as a team they were good today again.
And finally from us, in terms of this opportunity now, you've got to go away for 10 days, get to re-establish and refresh. Last year when you came back, you went on a terrific run. If you do that this time around, do you think there's still a hope that you can catch Liverpool?
Yeah, today we have to digest, first of all, the result and the fact that we are not in Wembley. We had a lot of hope and we put so much into it, and we are not there.
Sam Matterface there, speaking to Mikel Arteta.
Tough interview, that one, wasn't it?
He weren't giving him nothing there. He lost him straight away, Sammy, didn't he?
Didn't want to be there, Arteta, did he?
No, it was literally the last place he wanted to be, was asking questions about centre forwards and Isak and how they dealt with him. And
Sam's just doing his job, mate. He's doing his job, and look, I get it, right? You've just been dumped out the cup. In quite, he kind of alluded to it. They were better in both boxes, but they were. It's quite.
Wasn't very graceful in defeat there, though, was he?
What managers are? There aren't many, are there? Do you know what I mean?
But is there a little bit where you go, mate, they were better than us on the night? Outrun us, outfought us. We need to step up.
Maybe.
He's just kind of just dismissed it.
Well, they're all like it, mate. I remember.
I know.
Oh, mate, look, Arsene Wenger, right? You see him after a game when he got beat. They're all like it. They don't like getting beat. They're in the industry of winning. When they get beat, I mean, look, I've heard Pep like that when he gets beat, right? They're all like that. They are. It's like a big disappointment tonight. And I understand he ain't going to give you much. He had the ump. So it's a tough gig for Sam. Yeah. Isn't it?
No, yeah, absolutely.
He don't want to be there answering questions about a game. They got pumped. And they did. Over the 4-0's quite excuse the word, humbling, isn't it?
It was a humbling. Whooping.
Yeah. Okay, it's a whooping.
It was a whooping and a humbling. Let's go to Ashley, who's an Arsenal fan. Ashley?
All right, Ash.
Whooping.
Oh, good evening, chaps. Good evening.
Ash, don't sound too happy, matey.
No, it is what it is, isn't it? We've been saying all window that we needed a striker. To be honest with you, I think the Kroenkes have given him, is it 700, 800 million? I'm not being disrespectful to Havertz. He's trying his best, he's not an out-and-out goal scorer. We all know that, but he's like a hybrid forward if you think about it. But the difference is when you look at Alexander Isak and you look at the quality that he brings, and that's the difference. And he do you know what? I thought it was a goal, great finish. He's such a potent in front of goal, and we're lacking, I think, since Aubameyang gone, for the whatever discipline, we haven't really replaced him. If you think about you guys have played at the top level, you know what's at stake. And
listen, Jason plays centre half.
Too hard on the club. I think Arteta's done an unbelievable job, transforming us into competing, but it's getting over the line? Can we get something and winning something? That's the question mark.
Look, Arsenal, they proved at the weekend what a top side they can be.
Yes.
Right? But there are moments, and everyone, I listen to Arsenal fans talking about how they're, I think, the second highest goal scorers in the league.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not just about, it's about getting you up the pitch. It's about what more the centre forward can give you. And you look at what Isak did today, right?
I know.
He didn't score today.
Well, he's
right?
a centre-half nightmare, isn't he, Isak?
No, he's got...
Runs off you, constantly running off the back of you.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's an intelligent player.
I've got to be honest with you guys as well. I think I've never really seen Gabriel Saliba being rattled. It's just, I know he didn't score today, but what he does is he finds them pockets and channels where he knows to find the space. And he's so deadly. I mean, he's lethal. I mean, I look back a few years ago, we could have bought him for 60 million when he was at Real Sociedad.
That's what like Newcastle paid for him.
And we didn't take a chance on it, and obviously they come in, stump the money, and I mean he's having a terrific season. I mean, you're looking at strikers now in the Premier League that you think, well, who else can actually, that we could have gone for?
He's the best striker in the league at the moment, and I don't think I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't. Newcastle fans would be in uproar. It'd be riots if they got let him go.
Oh, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. But what I'm going to say to you is that if Newcastle do get the Champions League spot or winning a cup, he's going to be starting without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, again, it's another missed opportunity for Arsenal not to take. And, all we've been doing is scratching. We've had all these media journalists saying, oh, yeah, we've been linked with this player, that player. Being honest with you at the end of the day,
if you don't win a trophy this season, is there going to be calls for Arteta's head?
I shouldn't think so, no, because I think what he's done for that club, he's absolutely transformed it. For the last 15, 20 years, it was toxic.
He transformed it, mate. I mean...
He has.
It's still Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not Norwich.
No, it's not Norwich. No, but what I'm trying to say to you is, if you look over the years, I've listened to pundits saying that we lacked a mentality, we lacked a spine in the team. It's taken us years to get to where we are. He's added the likes of Thomas Partey, who, for me, I think has been now best midfielder. And I think, to be honest, this season, I think it's the first time I've actually seen him not injured as much than when you look at over previous seasons where he has been injured. Declan Rice, been fantastic. What a signing he's been. For 100 million, I think we got away with that with a bargain. But I look at the players like Sterling. I mean, Sterling. He's had an unbelievable career, Sterling, but he's just he's got to the stage now. I think whether it's a confidence issue, I don't know. He just isn't the same.
I don't think he suits Arsenal. I just don't think he suits Arsenal. You should start one, Airy.
Suit Arsenal, Jamie. Yeah. I think he should start with Ethan Nwari. Talent. Unbelievable player. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Yeah. Lewis Skelly, I was impressed with him the other day against Man City.
I thought he'd done all right tonight, actually. Skelly, he's only 18.
Yeah. And I just want to say as well that I just think as well, going to Newcastle, and I think you boys know it's a tough place to go. They were the fans were fantastic at the occasion. And I thought I'm not saying did it disrupt Arsenal a little bit. Maybe it was a bit. You know what, places like Anfield are. They're right behind the team.
Yeah.
And we went there. And I think, I'm not saying, you shouldn't really make excuses, the occasion got to them and things like that. But sometimes when you've got that 12th man in the crowd, it does give everyone an uproar, a big lift.
Yeah, it does.
The first goal, Ash, the first goal tonight was absolutely crucial. If Odegaard scores that goal...
It's game on.
I've got to. We're having a different conversation here right now. I promise you. They missed.
I just still feel like Newcastle just had them though.
No, maybe
they've got to add their number, mate.
Maybe,
regardless. I know what you mean. Moments change
but
games.
But it goes from 2-1 to 3-0 in less than a minute.
Yeah, to be fair, I've played at St James's Park, Jason. I dumped them out of the Carabao Cup. I scored. Don't know what the bother's about with being at Fortress.
So what are you saying? That Arsenal could have done with you in the middle of the park?
It didn't bother me when I went up there and put one in the
top bins.
In the top bins. Knocked them out of the cup. See you later.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.